To many people, our next guest is as much part of Christmas as turkey, tinsel and presents.
Yes.
Dave Clark presented the World Darts Championship every festive season for 20 years.
And despite being diagnosed with Parkinson's more than a decade ago, that hasn't stopped him achieving remarkable things. We're going to speak to Dave in just a moment. First, let's have a look back at his career.
Liverpool, are you ready for darts? Let's play.
A darts frontman for nearly 2 decades.
Welcome along. It's the king of darts against the heir apparent. England against Holland.
Dave Clark led coverage on Sky Sports.
Hi, I'm Dave Clark. Welcome to Sky Sports.
And helped launch the channel 25 years ago.
Hello, Holland.
He quickly became synonymous with darts and is credited with helping transform it from a pub game into a hugely popular sport. A diagnosis of Parkinson's disease in 2011 was devastating. But Dave was determined to carry on and presented for another 9 years before retiring during the pandemic.
Hang on, Dave, I just want to leave on a slightly different note because today, Clarky, has been your day.
Now he wants to live life to the fullest, raising thousands for Parkinson's charities, spending time with family and, most of all, enjoying his retirement.
Are you ready for Dave?
I've got some moves, haven't I?
You really have. Oh, it's fantastic to see you
Great to be here, yeah.
on the sofa, because this is really, it has been for 2 decades, up until very recently, your time of year.
Yeah, massively so. I'm quite looking forward to spending Christmas with the family for a change this year. I used to go away on the 14th of December, 13th of December, not get back till the new year, you know. It was a big part of my life, the darts, for 20-odd years, but I've moved on now. I'm proud of what I did, but, you know, different times.
Yeah, you've got a podcast, haven't you, where you talk about Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And the diagnosis. Just tell us about it. It was around 10 years ago. You were still doing the darts, of course, and you did long after the diagnosis. But how did you know that you had the symptoms of Parkinson's?
It was quite weird because I noticed my right hand was quite slow, and I walked past a shop window and my arm wasn't swinging. I thought, what's going on here, you know? And I felt a bit flat. I thought I had a shoulder problem. Went to a physio and he said, it's not physiological, it's neurological. So a bit of a shock to the system. I went to a neuro specialist. He asked me how old my kids were. I said 7 and 4 at the time. Yeah. He asked me if I had a big mortgage. I did. And he said, you've got Parkinson's. And I said, how long am I going to be able to work for? He said, 3 or 4 years.
Gosh.
I did 10 years of presenting live sport, world heavyweight title fights, everything. So I'm, you know, really proud of that.
So proud. The thing is, Dave, that you have really approached this with an enormous amount of positivity.
Yeah.
And I think partly driven by the fact that your dad had Parkinson's, didn't he? And he responded in a completely different way.
Well, he got really depressed. He had to give up work, and he was a sales rep in Bradford, and people were accusing him of turning up drunk to meetings, things like that. So it was a really sad time.
Because of his symptoms?
Because of his symptoms. He got depressed and taking his own life when I was a teenager. So it wasn't the best start for me with my diagnosis, you know. I had memories of, I saw Parkinson's, worse of Parkinson's, take away the best of my dad. And it was a really sad time. And, you know, I thought when I was diagnosed, I used my dad as a blueprint. I'd do everything opposite to what he did. He locked himself away. I went public. But I kept it secret for 2.5 years because I thought people were going to... So I was think I'd be disabled. And I was worried that I'd lose my job. I had to work because I needed to pay that big mortgage and stuff. So, you know, I carried on for 10 years and really proud of that.
What's given you the strength?
I think Yorkshire grit, single-mindedness, you know. I need the money as well, which was a big thing. So I think determination to not do what my dad did, you know. I wanted to give a positive image for darts and Parkinson's as well. And I thought... it was interesting because I was talking to... A guy came up to me when I was in Belfast. Yeah. He said, thanks for saving my uncle. I said, what do you mean I've saved your uncle? He said, he saw you on the darts. He was going to give up, and you've made him carry on. So, you know, things like that are incredible. Also,
things like your family, and obviously our families are very close.
Yeah.
But your dog, Ruby, the black lab, and your videos of Ruby are just... It's, you know, sunshine in canine form.
It's weird because I didn't want a dog, and my wife said, you need a dog, you've got to get a dog. So the dog gets me up every morning. She brings a toy to me, 6:45 in the morning, nuzzles into me. I have to get out of bed, so get up, get dressed, get out, you know, walk the dog, bit of nature, stops the depression. you know, I don't get depressed. She's been a big part of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been fantastic. People talk to you when you've got a dog as well, you know. People talk about my Parkinsons because, you know, you seem approachable when you've got a dog. And sometimes my face can look a bit stern with Parkinson's.
Right.
You get facial masking, which is something they don't tell you about. You know, my smile went and you know, your face looks a bit depressed. And your eyes don't blink anymore. You have to think to blink, which is a really weird part of Parkinson's. No one tells about that.
You are smiling so much this morning.
Yes.
I'm having a nice time, yeah, living on this sofa.
Oh, it's just
like the old
fantastic.
days.
Back on live television. Does that feel good?
It feels great, yeah, really good, really good. I love it.
And I think it's wonderful for people to watch. You're such good company, Dave, you really are. What about the storyline on Emmerdale, where Eric Pollard has been diagnosed with Parkinson's? How important is that? Because one of your things is to raise, you know, the profile of this as a condition to enable people to deal with it.
It's perfect, really. The scriptwriter's done a great job because I saw the diagnosis clip when he goes to the doctor and... you know, it's so different to mine. And people, when I got diagnosed, they handed me a box of pills, and that was it. And didn't get a leaflet or anything, and just you know, get on with life. And obviously, it was quite difficult for me then. But this is great. And doctors now tell you to take exercise. Exercise is key. So I play tennis 3 times a week now. I do yoga. I walk the dog. You know, and the only thing, Parkinsons UK, Parkinsons.org.uk, if you want to have a look at the stuff on there. But they say vigorous exercise 5 times a week, half an hour, can actually slow Parkinson's down. So take that on board, you know. Never used to tell you that back in the day, but exercise is key.
Gosh.
Incredible.
A friend of mine has done a whole course for people with Parkinson's on the exercises you can do to make a difference. Because too often the medical world doesn't push you in that direction to do that exercise, does it?
Well, I see my specialist for 15 minutes every 9 months. I'm seeing him on the 21st of this month. That's all I get. So self-care is a big thing. So you've got to look after yourself and live a good life for your family. So I think exercise and looking after yourself is key. Diet and just a positive mindset as well. You know, it's what I do for other people. I do a podcast called 2 Parkinsons in a Pod, where we get people on who do amazing things with Parkinson's. There's a guy had Parkinson's for 50 years who was on. He got it when he was 7 years old. Another guy who's run a marathon after 20 years diagnosed. We had a doctor on who's been diagnosed and what it was like being a doctor. And we have neurospecialists from Queen Square in London and lots of people on. So it's really, really... If you're newly diagnosed, it's a great way to start. Listen to the podcast.
We're doing this campaign called A Million Minutes, about how you can have a conversation, you can volunteer through our website to give a bit of time. You simply talking to us this morning...
Yes.
You know, that is, you know, 5 minutes. The impact you'll be having on people around the country with Parkinson's or with a loved one with Parkinson's, seeing your optimism, your determination, but your joy, it will be such a big lift for everybody.
It's a big thing, you know. You've got to stay positive and, you know, surround yourself with positive people is a massive thing. You know, the Million Minutes campaign is great because you can feel very alone when you've got Parkinson's. You know, people hide away when the symptoms are bad. They don't go to the shops, won't even go around the corner, you know. And sometimes people have said to me, "You're drunk, you know, is something wrong with you?" I was getting the shopping. The guy was delivering the shopping a while ago, and he got the box out on the road. Said, "Do you want a hand?" He said, "No, I don't trust you." I said, "What do you mean, don't trust me?" I said, "You delivered it to my house." He didn't believe me because he thought I was looking a bit sinister. And I went to the house and said, "Was it because I look a bit miserable and Parkinson's?" He said, "Yeah, that was the reason."
Yeah. But you being open about it means that he will now know.
Yeah, exactly. So the Emmerdale lines and this interview and all that sort of stuff, it will bring awareness and it's...
Totally right.
Got to ask you, this Christmas, you're not on the TV.
No.
Will you and the family, will you watch the darts at Christmas?
You got it. Christmas is about darts, you know.
You will.
It's like the Christmas in the Munich Beer Festival, the best fancy dress night you've ever had. and these titans of tungsten battling it out, great skilled guys, ordinary blokes, doing amazing things, rocking the place. Fantastic. Ali Pali's a great venue.
I'm going to definitely watch it now after that, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Dave, back on live television, you are human sunshine. You really are. It's just a joy to see you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Huge
Thank
happy
you.
Christmas.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Lovely stuff.